Hey, I wanted to show you how to make a really quick cheats version of fried rice. It's not fried, but it's made in the Thermomix and it's really quick and it feeds a lot of people. Feeds my family of 6 with leftovers. But it's just, yeah, it's really good. So it's based on the recipe I originally started using. It's called Quirky Cooking's fried rice recipe. So you can Google that, Quirky Cooking fried rice, but you'll see how you can just adapt it to whatever you want to put in it and your methods. So the first thing I'm going to do is chop some ham and veggies. So I've got ham, I roughly chopped it, carrot roughly chopped, lost my ham, zucchini and capsicum, but it's like whatever veggies you want to do. And if you want these to all look perfectly cubed, you can do this by hand. I like the way the Thermomix chops it. I don't have an issue with it being triangular and a bit funny, as long as it's bite size for the fried rice. So all I do is turn it to speed 4, maybe about 4 seconds. And I kind of look. That looks pretty good. If you have a look and you want to do it longer, you can do that. Okay, there's a few pieces that I do. I'll just show you what I've got there. There's a few pieces that I'm thinking are a bit big. So I'll just do it another 2 seconds maybe. And that's the beauty of it. It's better when you're chopping something in the Thermomix to stop it earlier and have a look, because you can always put it back on and do it longer. But if you go too far, you can't go backwards. So I'm going to turn it on for another few seconds. That was 1. Okay, yeah, another 2 more seconds. So I'm going to set that aside in the Varoma dish. All those veggies. So just in the bottom of the dish. And then we're going to mix the egg in the Thermomix. You could mix it by hand, but it's really quick just to do it in the machine. Doesn't matter if there's a few veggies in there, because what I'm going to do now is mix this egg. I've got 5 eggs, but you could have 4 or however many you want. And it won't matter if some of these veggies and ham are just sort of worked into the omelette. That's all fine. So maybe speed 5 for a few seconds. Yeah. And I've got some baking paper here that I scrunched up, I wet it. So now I'm just lengthening it again to fill the Varoma tray. So you can get these perfectly cut baking paper sheets from the mix shop, or just use normal baking paper that you can make to fit in your Varoma tray. So here we go. I'm just going to pour that whipped egg on top of the tray. Looks good. And I'll try and get most of it out. So now we're ready to begin cooking the rice. So I will get my simmer basket, put this in and weigh in, turn on my scales and weigh in up to 400 grams of rice. It's up to you how much your family will eat. Sometimes I just do 350, but I'm trying to show now how we can make a lot of food. So I'll do a bit more. So it's about 3 cups of rice. Yeah. And so now that it's in my simmer basket, I want to rinse that. I want to just pour water over it till it runs a bit clear, and then I'll add water in my bowl till it's about up to the 1 litre mark. So this is just getting out some of the starch in the rice. Not that big of a deal, like it's up to you. It also depends where you get your rice. So that's rinsed enough. Now I'll just add a litre of water into my bowl. There's capacity markings in the bowl, so you don't have to measure that in, 1 kilo of water. You can either measure it in using the scales, or just look at the capacity wines that are in the actual bowl. So yeah, water's in. In Kirky's recipe, she also puts in a can of coconut milk in there, so it's sort of half milk, coconut milk, half water. It flavors the rice differently. I'm just being quick today and I didn't bother getting out a can of that. Putting the lid on, and I'm going to set this for 20 minutes. Aroma temperature, speed 4. And while that's going, I'll lift my aroma dish on top. And now, oh, as you can see, there's some room in there to add some more veggies. And what I'll do is I always like to leave a bit of a hole in the middle so that the steam can really circulate really easily. So to kind of fill up some more veggies while it's heating up, I'm not losing time with this steam, even though I've already set it and I don't have the lid on and all the veggies in yet. It's okay because it takes a few minutes to heat up. So it's just a matter of getting it done quickly. I'm just going to add a few little florets of broccoli, which I didn't do in the Thermomix, but could have. I actually didn't even think to. They wouldn't look like perfect little florets. But again, if your family's just eating it and you don't care what it looks like, that wouldn't matter. So the broccoli will go in. And then whatever room I have left around is what I'm going to fill with some peas and corn. Finish that bag. So just some frozen, you could use canned, frozen food to whatever works for you. I'm not completely filling the aroma because I still need room to put my egg omelette on top. So just sort of filling it as much as I think until it fits the tray on. I'll show you what I've got actually. So it's pretty full. And now this will sit on top. Careful so I don't spill the egg. Yeah, great. And now put my lid on. Now I can go away and 18 minutes later, the fried rice will be ready just to add a sauce and that's it. Okay, so that's finished. And so what you'd want to do now is just check that it's all cooked. And I can see the egg is like still the slightest bit runny. So what I'm going to do is remove the varoma and take out the rice because we can carry on with this. So you use the hook in your spatula. I don't know if you can see this hook here to get your simmer basket out. And what I will do is put this lid back on and just cook this for another. You know, when the screen has drips on it, it doesn't work very well. So it's not detecting my finger right now. So all you need to do is give it a good dry and a clean. So I will do this for another about 2 minutes. Just put the whole varoma back on. It's probably a good idea to give it a stir. So if I just lift the egg off, which it really is almost done. You can see all that steam coming off there. And just give all this a bit of a stir. Yeah, this all looks very nicely cooked. Make sure there's a hole in it again so that it can just finish off that egg. And while that's happening, we empty our rice in here. That was a very full simmer basket. Got a nice mound of rice. And we are going to add a sauce. So you could actually, on Cookie there's a really yummy sauce called for teriyaki, a yummy recipe for teriyaki sauce, which you can make and just have in your fridge ready. But I'm just making one up at the moment. So I'm going to add some tamari or just soy sauce, whatever you want to add in. You could do oyster or fish sauce or whatever you want as well. Kick out mayonnaise. I'm putting in sesame oil. I love the flavor of sesame oil in Asian inspired recipes, and a little bit of sweet chili. And so just give that all a stir. You could add crushed garlic, whatever you want. Doesn't matter, anything, whatever flavors you like. I'm just being simple though. But yeah, use whatever you've got in your pantry or fridge. Okay, just stirring it all around, making sure it's really incorporated. And then we will add everything else in. So now if I get rid of this egg, I can add the veggies. Get all that out. Oh, the egg looks pretty done now to me, but anyway, you can have another minute while I stir in the veggies. You can see how much food I'm making here. This is a giant bowl. Yeah, this really does feed a lot of people, this rice dish. And did I already mention you could add, when I added the ham, we could have added chicken, black diced chicken into this Varema bowl with veggies. Or right now, if you wanted to add tuna, it would be a good time to add that now. Or you could just have it vegetarian, just don't put in the ham. It's like you just add whatever you want. It's your fried rice. Some people add some prawns. Okay, so with this egg, this looks good. Yeah, so with this egg, use your spatula to dice it. And it will just fall off that baking paper. And then you can just incorporate it into the rice. Don't know if you can see the strips coming off. Perfect. So that's really good. And the egg is just a yummy addition. You know, you always want egg in your fried rice. If you don't, if you have allergies, leave this out. You could fill your Varema even more because you're not having to add in that tray. So yeah, you can see the egg pieces just come off. Yeah, so I will just dip that in. Make sure all the pieces are off. And so there we have our fried rice to feed a crowd. Hopefully you've seen how easy that is and how much it makes. This is giant, all made in your Thermomix and Varema. So, yep. Happy cheats fried rice. Enjoy.